Greetings, this is Vane and welcome back to Let's Play the Elder Scrolls Arena, where we're slowly going through the second level of the Mines of Cyrus, which, because these are a lot bigger, no, I don't want to rest here. It's taking some time. Just giving me plenty of time to ramble about stuff. At the moment, I'm rambling about J.K. Rowling and her transphobic views. And they are transphobic. She's attacking trans people and she's calling them dangerous. That is an attack against trans people, so it's transphobia. End of. You know. And the problem is her comments are very sexist. She's claiming to stand up for women's rights, but she isn't. Because women's rights aren't being affected. You know. You go into a female bathroom, everyone's using stalls. You know. Don't know what they expect to see, but it's not like people are they're just sort of stripping and then flashing vaginas about. Maybe that's what J.K. Rowling wants. Maybe she wants, you know, to be able to go into a ladies' restroom and see a load of other ladies flashing their vaginas about. Who knows? Maybe that's it. Maybe she thinks that, you know, they shouldn't be stalls. There shouldn't be any privacy. She should be able to see everyone else's vagina whenever she wants in a ladies' restroom. Who knows? Maybe she's a lesbian and she hasn't come to terms with that. Who knows? And there are people like that, so. And the thing is, it's like, okay, ladies' showers. You go in, you shower. Okay, there's not individual cubicles. Sometimes they're communal showers. Okay. You know. But the argument is based on the idea that, you know, it's undignified for men and women to share a showering space. You know, as if they don't want to just shower. Right? And here's the thing that I find funny. You know, it may be it's because, you know, men can't control their sexual desires and therefore might rape women in a shower. So they might get accidentally aroused and accidentally fall into a vagina, you know, because they can't control these things, because, you know, they're men. Okay. Well, that's okay, but it's like, fine. Okay, so you don't want men and women in the shower room. Okay. Because a woman might accidentally have someone fall in have a penis inside her. Okay. Fair enough. Because it's about sex. We know it's about sex. Okay. But you're not thinking about, you know, let's be honest. It's like, oh yeah, men can't control their desires. They're going to have, if they see a woman, they're going to have sex with a woman. Okay. What about women? What about lesbians? Lesbians share shower with other women all the time. You know, if you're worried about sex, having unwanted sex in a public convenience, you know, then ladies should be more worried about women because they're already there. Should be worried about lesbians, but they're not, you know, because apparently women aren't like that, except that they are, or more accurately, they can be, because I mean, there are examples of women who have raped women. So, but if you're going by the same standards of, well, it might happen, then you have to accept that by those same standards, there might be a lesbian in the bathroom that might rape you. And then we're getting to the grounds of homophobia. So the situation hasn't changed. You know, the argument of what might happen is irrelevant, because, you know, you can't rule out what might happen. They say, oh well, you can prevent. Well, what exactly are you preventing? You know, because it's, at the end of the day, it's all about fear. But it's all about fear in a cis-het, which is like a cisgender heterosexual context. It's not fear in you know, and it's also fear in a trans heterosexual. Well, that would be a trans homosexual. Let's get it right. A trans women who are still men, apparently, regardless of what they say, and therefore might act like all other men and are basically rapists. So, what are you talking about? That's some proper old school feminism when you start getting to that point. And that's the problem. Never really resonated with old school feminism, because old school feminism or radical feminism, a lot of it was based on men are the enemy. You know, it's all about fighting the patriarchy, but apparently everyone who's born with a penis is part of that patriarchy. even if, by definition of being transgender, transsexual, trans women are literally giving up whatever privilege that bit of muscle brings. You know, and the irony is that the argument's been made, okay, if men can become women, then women's rights are irrelevant. But even that's illogical. Even if you disagree about about people being transgender, and you assert that trans women are men in a very physical sense, then men who choose to live as women would be reliant on women's rights. Therefore, it makes them more important, not less. Oh, I've got to do all this again because I didn't save. Oh no, you just screwed up the map. Okay, fine, fair enough. I'm going to go back and fix the map for you. No, I didn't screw up the map. Okay. Or did I? We'll see. Because sometimes the map does screw up. So yeah, I mean, even that argument doesn't make sense. Because the whole point of being transgender is you have men who are rejecting male privilege. That's essentially what it is. It's men rejecting male privilege. Therefore, women's rights become more important, not less. And it makes, you know, but then you get the argument, oh, well, then you've just got men fighting for women's rights and telling them what women's rights should be. What? This is the... See? Just to think of the thing, I mean, it's just nonsensical. It's nonsensical, and basically it's based on the ultimate thing. It's basically, okay, I'm happy as a human. I'm happy as a human being, and I'm comfortable, and I prefer to use the ladies' toilets. Okay, I go in. I use a stool, I pee, I come out, I wash my hands, I do the same as everyone else. You know. Not hurting anyone. Yet, that is somehow offensive. And that is the point. And it's like, well, if I'm doing what you're doing, then what you're offended by is my being, my existence. You're basically gatekeeping and saying, I'm not allowed. And what you're saying is, I'm not allowed to be happy. That's what it thinks. And I'm not allowed to be trans. And again, you come back, it's rooted in transphobia. I mean, a lot of trans women and trans men struggle with their identities once they've accepted that they're trans. That is standard. You know, exploring identity is a big part of what people do to find out what their identity is. In that case, it's like, okay, what type of trans woman are they? What type of trans men are they? I mean, are they like drag queens? Do they like to use a lot of makeup? You know, do they like pink? It's all simple stuff like that, and it is very, very, very simple stuff like that. Wow, we've gone through almost 40 potions of purification in this level, during this level. And this is just to find the map. Okay then. So yeah, I mean, whichever way you examine it, you end up coming back to the simple fact that the argument is transphobic. No matter which way you dress it up. In fact, it's best described, I mean, the best term is, if not just transphobia, it's best defined as trans misogyny. Which is basically hatred towards trans women as opposed to just women, which is, and unfortunately that's being carried out and endorsed and encouraged by J.K. Rowling, which is incredibly disturbing. You know, I might use this opportunity to rest. What troll? That troll, okay. them some trolls there. I used that opportunity to rest, and then basically ended up having to fight my way out. Because that's where they're going. So that's not a good place to rest then. Kind of a waste to rest there, isn't it? So yeah. So yeah. And I could have said pretty much all this at the International Women's Day event, but I didn't want to hijack it. I was pretty adamant that it sounds stupid. People were like saying, well, that was my International Women's Day event. And it's like, well, I just organised it. It wasn't for me. I didn't do it to be my event. The only way it was my event was that I took responsibility for organising it. That's it. You know. As I said, because I was asked to give a speech, and I wasn't particularly happy about giving a speech, because I was kind of adamant that I didn't want to speak. Because I didn't want to hijack the proceedings. I didn't want to make the event about me. So, and like I said, because it was about us. It was about everybody in the room. It was about all women everywhere. Trans women as well. Because ultimately, I think, sounds stupid. Maybe it doesn't. But ultimately, there's too much of this, okay, it's trans rights versus women's rights. And people are only voicing... and there's a lot of it goes without saying, and it's like, well, no, I think the issue between trans women and women will only be solved by having cis women stand up and say that they accept trans women. Emma Watson said it. You know, but I think there needs to be more. It's going to be, because this idea that it doesn't affect cis women, and it's like, well, no, the issue affects everyone. But think about it, about intersectionality. And historically, I've offended enough people talking about historical isms in intersectionality and social politics. Hell, in many ways, that may be deemed more offensive than talking about anti-Semitism. Really, it depends who you ask, but yeah. Okay. Exactly how... Ah, the light. Oh dear. Don't know what that is. I think that might be, if that's not doing anything, that's probably a mark of light. That's crystalline shielding. Okay. 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 This is a mess. But I might go back and do this bit. I might go that way around is probably a good idea. Because I don't actually know where to go. So what I will do is rest here, I think. That'll do. Okay, so this has been Vane doing Let's Play the Elder Scrolls Arena. If you like what you're seeing here, be sure to like, subscribe, share and comment. Please consider sponsoring me on Patreon, and until next time, goodbye.